Hi everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and today we will be doing another unboxing video. And guess what this is, guys? So we have a couple of seconds to guess and hit a comment down below what sneaker this is. So without further ado, let's open this up. Let's go. This is the Nike GT Run, or the Greater Than Run, from the Greater Than series from Nike. If this is not a giveaway, this is the logo of the GT series. And on the side, you can see Nike Air Zoom GT Run with the sport red, white, blue. So this is the USA colorway. If it's not too obvious, it has red, white, and blue. And a lot of athletes will be wearing this during the Olympics. And another thing that highlights that this is a USA, another detail that says this is a USA theme color is the USA logo at the back. This is usually on the uniforms of the USA basketball. So we'll put this aside here. So this is the sneaker that came out from the Greater Than series. The first one was a GT Cut, which is one of my favorite this year. So I was really excited that this came out already. So let's talk about first the materials on the GT Run. The upper features a mesh upper that is heavily fused. It reminds me a lot of the Kyrie 7. So you'll feel the upper more on the fuse side. You'll feel it very plasticky. I know a lot of you don't like it, but for me, I don't mind it that much because the main advantages of a fused material that is really thin is that even though it's a thin material, it is still very durable and it doesn't stretch. And of course, it's very lightweight, and the ventilation of the upper will be very good. You can see a lot of holes on the side of the sneaker for ventilation. And as for the upper, like I said, it reminds me of the Kyrie's and also the Jordan 34. If you like the Jordan 34's upper, the regular versions, I'm sure you would like the GT Run. And for all of you who doesn't like the very fused material, I would veer away from the GT Run's upper because you can really feel the fused material, especially when I tried it on here first. You will hear the crunchiness of the upper of the GT Run, and I think they really chose this material for the run. And I think that they really chose this material for the run because they want to make it a lightweight sneaker, because when you run up and down the court a lot, you like your sneaker to be relatively lighter than to be heavier. So that's why I think they put emphasis on the upper to be really thin, at the same time still very durable and breathable. So talking about the durability of the upper, on the edges of the toe box there's an underlining layer, plus the cushion goes up. So you can see this blue part of the cushion also cages up the toe area so that it will be more durable, especially when you're stopping, and it won't tear up if you're doing a forceful stop. Now moving on to the mid part of the upper, where the lacing system is. It is a traditional lacing system with a lot more fusing at the side. There's an extra layer of plastic for the durability of the lace loop so it won't tear. And as for the tongue, it is not my favorite tongue at all. Like I said, the Jordan 34 has this kind of tongue, and even the Scion ones, because it is the one layer mesh that is very plasticky. And what I don't like about it right now is it's not padded in the right areas, especially around where your ankle is, where you really tighten the laces up. I just wish that they added extra neoprene or foam around this ankle part so that when you tighten the laces up, because I tried it here and when I tightened it, I can feel the laces touching my ankle. So I was wearing a Nike Crew socks that's relatively thin, so I will be wearing a thicker socks when I play with these, and I'll let you know how it feels. But currently right now, I'm not digging the tongue as of now, but I like their concept that they wanted the sneaker to be lightweight, but maybe add a little bit more foam or cushioning around the tongue so that it will feel more comfortable on those areas that you need extra padding. And speaking of padding, they added some paddings around the ankle part, which is good, so you won't feel that fused material that much on the balls of your ankles. So that's a nice touch around the ankles, which I wish they did on the tongue. And at the heel, it has a nice Achilles pillows, so it's padded there. And as for heel lockdown, heel support. I think it will be very nice. It has an internal heel cup and didn't experience any heel slippage when I was just trying it here on my floor. One thing that added to the comfort of the sneaker is of course the insole. They use a pretty nice insole for this. I don't think this is a React insole, and unlike the ones, I haven't discussed it yet, but the GT Run kind of is the bigger brother or the next of the Zoom BB Next series. It kind of looks alike. It also has a React foam, a full-length React foam to the sneaker, and was relatively light for the upper and a forefoot cushion, which we'll be talking about in a bit. But this really reminds me of the Zoom BB Next, especially how it feels when you're running and how it looks. Do you guys agree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. And like I said in the Zoom BB Next, what's nice about that sneaker is that the insole was also React, but this one isn't, but it's relatively thick. And this is one of the insoles that shape up your feet over time, like in the Kobe's. So I like the insoles that they use on this one. And now let's move on to the cushion part of the sneaker. The GT Run has a full-length React cushion, and inside the cushion around the forefoot part is a two-layered Zoom bag. One on top is kind of articulated, and one just below of it is a rectangular Zoom. And the difference that they made for the Zoom setup of this one is that there's no foam in between the Zoom bags. So literally, the Zoom bags are on top of each other. So what's the advantage on that is that it made the sneaker a little bit lower to the ground rather than higher off the ground. Unlike the Zoom BB Next, which was a little higher off the ground, it's a little bit thicker around the forefoot. But with this one, they tried to minimize the height so that you will have excellent responsiveness from the sneaker. And when I was trying it, I didn't feel that high. But the Zoom bags right now is not that bouncy yet. But hopefully, and I'm sure that after breaking this in, it will become a lot bouncier. Like my Freak 3, when I was trying at first, it wasn't that bouncy. But after breaking that in, it became really, really bouncy. And as for the heel of the sneaker, there's no Zoom unit at the heel, but this very nice React foam right now is very plush already. So I'm guessing after breaking this in more, impact protection will be great. Another thing that I like about the Nike React foam of the Zoom GT Run is it is carved, so it kind of helps in minimizing the weight of the sneaker, and you can see the curves all around the React cushion. It helps out in lessening the weight of the sneaker. Now let's move on to the traction. This is the traction pattern that was seen on the Zoom BB Next. Maybe similar, not exactly the same, but very, very similar. And on the Zoom BB Next, the traction was on point. This didn't come with an XCR tag. This is not an EP release. So even my GT cut wasn't an EP release, but the rubber compounder was really good already. So I'm hoping that it will perform the same with the GT Run. And as for the rubber material, the pattern is not too thick, but it is deep, but the rubber is hard. So let's wait and see if this will be good for outdoor use and even for indoor use. But I like the spacing on the pattern so that even for dust pickup, it won't matter that much. And the rubber is kind of still pliable. So I'm pretty optimistic with the performance of the traction of the GT Run. So we'll wait and see. I'll give you an update on the performance review. And you can see at the heel part of the GT Run, there's BB21. So there's a Zoom BB Next. It has a 20 there. So this was, I think, the next design of the Zoom BB Next, and they made it the greater than series. On the middle part of the traction, you can see the fatigue is the enemy. And let's see on the other side, it's the same. Fatigue is the enemy. So you can't get tired, guys. You can't get tired. So let's check out the weight of the GT Run. See, it's, I think, maybe the lightest sneaker out of the three. I'm still not sure, but I think it will be. It is 400 grams. So for a mid-cut sneaker, it is very, very light. It's lighter than the GT Cut. And as for the sizing of the GT Run, it is kind of a narrow sneaker. I have a little bit of toe space, but I like it like that because I think if I went half a size down, it will be touching my toe. At the same time, it will be really tight around the midfoot. And with this material that is not too stretchy, I wouldn't risk it because it will be really painful around the midfoot part. One thing that I almost forgot to talk about is this lateral outrigger on the GT Run, which is really good. It is really protruding and it is wide, and I have here my Zions. I'm gonna check if they have the same width. Although the Zions is a lot wider on the forefoot, but I'm happy that Nike put a lateral outrigger for the run for extra stability. And given that this cushion setup is not too low to the ground, so that lateral outrigger is really a good help. Another thing that caught my eye on the GT Run is the shape or the heel to toe transition. The heel is really curved up, so usually Nike curves sneakers like this. On the signature sneaker of their athletes who likes to run up and down the court a lot, Giannis and Westbrook are two of the athletes that has this shape on their signature sneaker because they like to run up and down the court a lot. So I guess since this is a GT Run, this deserves a very curved heel shape. So that's it on my unboxing and initial look at the GT Run. Let me know what you think about the sneaker and also this colorway. Do you dig them? This is currently available right now over at nike.com.ph, and they can ship it to you guys. And currently, locally, it's not yet available, but I'm pretty sure it will be available soon. And as for the price point of the GT Run, it is quite expensive. It is 9,400 pesos. So very similar to the price of the Zoom BB NXT when it came out. So it's pretty pricey. It has the same price with the GT Cut actually, and I would compare them soon as I do the performance review of the runs. Then I'll be doing a comparison video with the Cut. So this has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one. Cheers.